How did that make you feel? If you started playing Roblox back in its glory days, this would have taken you back to your childhood, when nothing you did mattered. To when you would look forward to coming home from school just to hop on Roblox and immerse yourself back into the world that you missed so much. This is where it all started for me. I was browsing the internet searching for whatever 6-year-olds at the time searched for. An advert caught my eye. I clicked on it and just like that, a new era of my life began. Or something like that. Truth be told, this was 12 years ago. This was 2 years before Gangnam Style even became a thing. The only thing I remember from 2010 to 2011 was that I had an unhealthy addiction to those Built to Survive games. This was the era of Roblox where games revolved around one basic concept. For example, that one teapot game. Fast forward to 2012 and I've just found out that my best friend also played Roblox. Thinking back at it now, this was a massive coincidence considering how unpopular Roblox was during this time. One core memory we both share was the 2012 starter place. The beautiful yellow house of tranquility. Or so it was, before our 8-year-old selves overran it with tons of free models. Joining the game today, all you see is this. Roblox updates have rendered this place completely unplayable. The terrain and almost all of those buggy free models have disappeared, along with a ton of memories. One of the most popular types of games back then were the Build to Survive games, where you'd build a base and try to survive the endless waves of monsters that the game would throw at you. One variant of these games, however, would appeal to me the most. Build a Hideout and Survive was the game that would kickstart my journey into making videos. It garnered millions of views, which was shit. 1,000 views was still a lot to me at the time. I did have a video before that, but we don't talk about that. Welcome to Roblox Building was one of those games that almost everyone who played Roblox at the time would have played. The game was simple. You'd build and honestly just have a grand old time with the people in the server. Now, you know, with modern building games, you have all the tools you could ever need to build whatever you want. The beauty of this game, however, was what people could achieve with this piece of shit. It seriously took a lot of imagination to do anything interesting with the stamper tool. While much more may be possible now, all it would have taken to entertain players back then was that stupid toilet glitch, or wiring boomboxes up to have a rave session with anyone who walked by. Including HelperBot. This era gave players lots of different types of games. From tycoons to building games to survival games to fighting games, you name it. Then there were these games. The most child-friendly of the bunch. Name any old creepypasta and it would end up as a jump scare here. This is where kids would be introduced to the likes of Slenderman, Smile Dog, and horror movie characters including Jason Voorhees and Freddy Krueger. They weren't as polished as today's horror games, which was one of the key factors in making them truly eerie in comparison to what we have today. Shit like this.
Shiv, we leaving shit behind. Hurry up, bro!
Bro, I'm in a cutscene or some shit. What the fuck is that, bro?
That scream once yet, man, imagine.
Okay, what is that?
Yeah. Alright, well me and Shivvy have found the monster!
Oh god, I'm out. There were other horror games too, but of a different nature. Way too inappropriate to describe on YouTube. It's safe to say that if any of them were found on Roblox today, the entire company would be shut down for eternity. The event I hold the most fond memories of would be the 2013 Egg Hunt. This was, as most of the OG community would agree, the best Roblox egg hunt ever made. Almost every egg had a unique way of capturing it, whether that be feeding it spam, playing with inverted controls, or fighting bosses. This gave each egg individual value, as players would be able to look at any egg they own and recall all the memories that they made trying to capture it. This egg hunt wasn't trying to be beautiful and sophisticated like the newer egg hunts. Well, it was beautiful, just in its own way. Natural Disaster Survival is one of the most popular Roblox survival games of all time. It serves as the natural successor to Survive the Disasters by Virus? I don't know how to pronounce it. As everything was changing in my life at the time, I would turn to this game as I could survive these disasters much easier than those I'd encounter in real life. It was an escape of sorts. I'd always get into these interesting conversations with people while trying to survive the onslaught of exploding noobs, or the man eating vegetables, or jschlatt himself. I decided to try and start another interesting conversation as I saw these two people in chat talking about K-pop. Sadly, they agreed with my totally valid opinion and went on with their day. As the OG community matures, so will the experiences they have. We're no longer little kids in a massive confusing world, because we've grown as people. In 2014, murder mystery games would start to become insanely popular. One game, however, would make it to the top of the food chain here. Murder Mystery by Nicholas, the first one, was simply a masterpiece. It was simple enough that anyone who joined understood what was going on, but had enough game mechanics that it wouldn't get boring too quickly. I revisited the game a couple of weeks ago, and me and my mates still had a blast on a game that was seemingly dead. This was the Among Us of 2014. Much less popular obviously, but it still spiked a craze in the Roblox community. Freyasa was a very popular game developer back in 2014, and is single-handedly responsible for some of my, and many others' favourite games from that time period. The most popular of these games was Martial Arts Battle Arena, a game in which you'd fight against others in one-on-one matches as everyone watched and cheered. There was a ranking system which used belts, ranging from white belt all the way up through black belt, gold belt, rainbow belt, and master belt. Me being me, I was extremely competitive over this and wanted to become the best, but I don't think I ever came anywhere close. There was, however, another game that I would get quite good at. Freya's Escape was, as you would guess, Freya's twist on RuneScape. I can't seem to find any clips showing how top players would play, but it was much more magnificent than what's shown here. I was widely determined through tournaments as the third best player in the game at some point. Freyasa also created other popular games such as The Intruder, which was, for some reason, terrifying me as a child. My biggest fear was someone breaking into my home while I was home alone, and this game captured that feeling really well. Most would mark 2015 as the beginning of the end for Roblox, at least for those who joined in earlier years. Positive changes in branding, major improvements on how games were developed, and a player base rapidly increasing in size would cause a new kind of technological revolution on Roblox. Games would start to look more polished, and that comforting feeling of old Roblox would soon dissipate. This was in part due to the sudden attention the platform would start receiving from large content creators on YouTube. Coming back to the growth chart, this exact year was when Roblox would start growing in popularity more than ever before. I myself, yet again, tried to start making Roblox videos on a new channel at the time, named Squirm.
Hey Squammy, welcome back to another video, and I am here with... Oh, I'm by myself, yeah. I'm a loner.
My content ranged from montages to playthroughs, and I even made my own skits.
Hey guys, ShivvyC here, and oh crap.
I really wanted to collaborate with other people in videos, so I started the long, tedious process of searching for people. I joined a random server on the normal elevator and asked if anyone wanted to help. One person would put themselves forward. Milky13240. Yeah, no, it wasn't that serious. We hopped on a call and that was it. We started making videos together. So I asked her if she would want to record a little follow-up, and she agreed. Here we are over 7 years later. Yo, why was my PC so bad?
What is it like?
Oh my god, it's the evil penguin.
Oh my god, it's the evil penguin.
Oh my god. Oh, I was about to like do an Indian accent, but that would get cancelled.
I love that, it's so cool. Yeah, shut up, man. What's with the music?
What the fuck am I like? Oh my god, the people saying XD in the chat.
Oh, back when people were happy. Bro. He's so like, he's so excited.
I killed him.
You got wrecked.
He got wrecked. He got wrecked.
Before we could conceive that people had lag.
Okay. Oh,
Oh,
see?
I screamed.
I was
Oh,
progressive back
lovely.
then. Oh.
Oh, lovely.
That's a whole
Gotta love. Oh, the way I used to type hi.
Oh, what the fuck was that?
There we go. And then
It's pissing me off.
Pissing me off, pussy yo.
It's not what I sounded like.
That's what you sound like now.
Good day, mate. I'm Australian.
Okay, well,
Don't die now.
I was such a pussy.
you know what we should do? We should recreate one of these.
Yeah, we should hop on Flood Escape.
We should totally.
Do you wanna?
I can do it. I'm down now.
Alright, yes, lads. I'm here with.
Milky.
You just don't have the fire in your voice anymore. Oh, it's scattered platforms.
You did this one and you like, oh, I hate this one.
Yeah, I'm already through. If you die, there's no way.
Oh, I did it.
Alright, good.
This is like what we did, the empty threat. Yeah.
Yeah, this is literally the exact video we just watched. Raf, fuck off, you bitch.
Got in faster, I'm telling
Yo,
you.
what the fuck, man?
Dude, it's not even open. We missed one. Right.
Oh shit. Oh shit. Now what?
Wait. Where's,
Yeah.
where's
That's not very nice. Almost all of us saw this as the worst possible thing Roblox could do. As we look back on the past, we miss logging in each day to receive our daily 10 ticks, with which we'd buy another one of those overly eye-grabbing hoodies that we felt made us look cooler than everyone else. We miss this being our only way as broke children of getting any Robux without begging our parents. Roblox would go on to change their branding. The logo changed in 2017 to something much more simplistic to fit the trend of minimalism. They would go even further with this, changing the red logo to a black one. The symbolic red theme of Roblox was lost. Those harmless, innocent creatures known as guests were also removed later on that year. If you haven't noticed, there's a theme here. This new monotone site is no longer powering imagination as the tagline might suggest. It's powering the bank account of David Bazuki, who I thought was supposed to be my friend. 2019 was another difficult year for OG Roblox players as many more beloved features were removed. Builders Club, which had 3 tiers, was replaced with Roblox Premium, which again is much more simplistic to fit modern trends. They also removed the party system, which would make it much more difficult to join the same servers as your friends. And now here we are in 2023. Roblox has just removed the final remnants of old Roblox. The oof sound has been abandoned thanks to licensing problems. The final nail in the coffin of Roblox's fate has been hammered in. Or has it? Perhaps the new Roblox is catering to a new generation of kids. Sure, these kids are gonna grow up without the old yellow house. They're gonna grow up without all those friendly old guests. Without the stupid sound effects. Without the feeling of being able to do or be whatever you want. Without the bright colours everywhere. Or even without the blocky characters. Without those events we'd spent hours trying to get new items on. We now all have responsibilities. Study for that final exam. Learn how to drive. Start finding jobs. Learn how to survive on your own. This was the place we'd all go when we had a summer to kill. The place we'd go when we didn't want to do that homework, or when we had more serious problems we were dealing with in life. After all, the only thing any of us want to do is to return to that feeling of being young again. The feeling of finally getting back home and logging onto the blocky wonderland that we miss so much, where all our friends awaited us. We miss Roblox.